Pom-Pom.
Just got a message from the Xianzhou La Fu. Looks like it'll conflict with our original schedule.
It's been a while, my friends on the Astral Express. How's your trailblazing expedition going? Soon, the Xianzhou Luofu will be holding the Luminary War Dance. Those who have aided the Luofu in overcoming the crisis are cherished allies of the Xianzhou. Thus, on behalf of the Seat of Divine Foresight, I'm extending an invitation to attend the ceremony. Your presence would be greatly appreciated.
Well, things are getting lively. We've barely recovered from the family's Charmony Festival, and we're already being invited to another special event.
Why not think about it this way? Our trailblazing expeditions are turning into blast expeditions!
Blast? Expedition?
Yeah! Wherever we go, we eat, play.
So we should leave March behind to take care of the Express?
Hey! That's not what I meant! I'm all for some fun! I just hope there won't be any surprise party crashers, like...
The Xianzhou Luofu has recently overcome a crisis. By holding the war dance, they're demonstrating to everyone that they've returned to a state of peace and safety.
But that's what everyone said before we went to Penacony! You'll be totally safe under the family's protection.
No need to worry. The War Dance is not like the Charmony Festival with all its hidden secrets. It's just a festival to honor the Rainbow Arbiter and the Cloud Knights, who fought against the abominations of abundance and protected the Xianzhou ships. Aside from star skiff performances, it's mostly martial contests. Nothing too different from the Taiki and Roboball contest we've seen.
What do you think, Himiko? Since we've accepted Miss Black Swan's proposal, we should probably head to Amphorius for refueling.
There's certainly no rush. This trailblazing expedition is quite unique, and the Express needs to be fully stocked and prepared before moving on to the next stop. With Madame Herta's help, I was planning to deliver some Leviathan fossils from Kalinga Abyss to Ron May, member 81 of the Genius Society. It could earn us some favors before we set off. However, it may take a few weeks.
Aw, so that means we're not going to the Luofu.
Being an adult means maintaining relationships, whether we like it or not, March. Since we've been invited, it's only right for the Astral Express to attend the ceremony. So, here's the plan. Pom-Pom will take everyone to the Xianzhou Luofu. Mr. Yang and I will meet up with Ron May and fulfill our promise. Meanwhile, you, March, and Don Hung will represent the Express.
What do you two think? I don't hear any objections.
Now that everyone's on board with the plan, it's time to warp to the Xianzhou.
Kalinga Abyss. What does she expect to find there? Current research on the Leviathan merely proves how little we know about...
That's why geniuses are interested in that field. Science is all about uncovering the unknown. Don't miss us too much. If I stumble upon some cool Leviathan fossils, I'll bring a few back as souvenirs for you.
Kalinga Abyss.
That's why geniuses are Don't miss us too.
Himiko really knows how to convince people. Between Leviathan... by the way, Don Hung, this time you'll be taking a stroll with us on the Luofu, rat.
And just let you two wander around aimlessly on the Luofu by yourselves? I don't think so. Plus, Mr. Yang is right. The ambrosial arbor crisis just ended, and both the long life and short life species are still feeling uneasy. And that's why Jing Yuan wants to organize the war dance, to show that the Xianzhou Luofu is stable. And since he has extended an invitation, it's only right that I visit my old friend.
Coming back to this place brings back so many... Hey, I'm not actually gonna recite a poem. I was just thinking about all the twists and turns we went through when we first arrived on the Xianzhou. This time, we're not being forced or enticed or chasing after wanted criminals. And we didn't have to sneak in through the cargo dock. Quite unusual, I must say. Such is the fate of us nameless, I suppose. Is the Starskiff Haven always this crowded? Oh, there's so many people here. I can barely hear anything.
Yanqing said General Jing Yuan sent him to welcome us. But where is he?
Hey, you guys! Hold on a moment. Did they just call us? Look at their outfits. Are you familiar with the Xianzhou?
We know a little bit about it. What do you need?
We're from Penacony. Maybe you've heard of it. We came to this ship to gather interesting materials for making...
Oh, we just left there. Oh, talk about...
That's great. Do you know any must-see attractions on the Luofu?
Exactly! Weird. Most of the tourists around at the moment are here to attend the war day.
Yeah, we know about that ceremony. But isn't the fighting ring still closed?
I've heard the ring was actually converted from a huge decommissioned Luofu fighter jet. The radiant feldspar is bigger, I guess.
But for now, all we can do is wait until the war dance starts in a few weeks, before we can board it. We've still got work to do, so we can't just sit around waiting.
We're looking for unique experiences that you won't find on Penacony. Our clients...
You're the expert here. Oh yeah! Fixed Stroll Garden! It's famous for
Supernatural? I don't really like scary...
Ooh, it does sound interesting. Let's go check out Fixed Troll Garden.
Look, Yanqing's here.
Really? Let's go catch up with him!
There you are! Everyone, this way! Hey, everyone! It's been a while.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long since we last saw you. But, Yanqing, are you...
What's up, Miss March?
They say kids grow up really fast. Yanqing, are you a little bit taller than before?
We've only been away for a few months.
Really? The General is always worried I won't grow much taller. But I keep telling him not to worry about it. Sorry for the delay. With the upcoming war dance and the Starskiff Haven being so busy, things are a little hectic.
Seriously, I've never seen the Luofu so lively before.
I was a bit worried that holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis might be too soon. But seeing the bustling Starskiff Haven, I understand why, General.
Yep. There's people from other delves and travelers like you three who've come from afar. With the war dance coming up, there's a huge number of visitors pouring into the Starskiff Haven. The Cloud Knights are work. The General said this ceremony would help the Xianzhou Luofu recover from the crisis. It's a way to showcase our martial spirit, reassure people, boost morale, and attract visitors from other planets to promote trade and peace. By the way, the Xianzhou Alliance places great importance on this ceremony too. The Xianzhou ships, the Zhuming and the Yaoqing, have both sent... Yeah, I wonder if you've heard of it. It's known as the Star Forge, and it's responsible for providing more than half of the Cloud Knights' armaments. The Xianzhou Zhuming boasts skilled craftsmasters, and General Huayan is a top-notch craftsman himself. If only I could get a sword forged by him, I'd be on Cloud 9.
By the way, Yanqing, where are we headed next?
I'm sorry for talking your ear off. The General wants to catch up with you at the Palace of Astrum. He's been eager to hear about how the Express has been doing.
It's funny how he tries to act all mature, but whenever it comes to something he's interested in, you can...
I agree.
All units, assemble quickly! Get ready to protect the crowd!
Just mentioned security, and now all of a sudden something's gone wrong. Excuse me, I need to go check it.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
We'll go with you.
Protect the civilians. I'll deal with him. Not good. Thanks for the help.
Sorry, no time to chat. Could you give me back my...
An ancient game to make your brain feel brand new. Celestial Jade.
Wait, my sword! I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we'll have to put our plans on hold for now. I need to find out what's going on.
While we appreciate your rescue, my Xianzhou friends, don't you think it's a bit too much to detain us and our cargo?
Sorry, but we've been ordered to detain you and your cargo for inspection. Once we're done with the formalities, we'll let you and your cargo go.
Oh, but this shipment isn't even meant for the Luofu, and it's IPC's patented technology. Who do you think you are to conduct an inspection?
According to the protocol, all cargo arriving on the Luofu must go through inspection.
Oh, but we didn't officially enter your dock at all. We just sought refuge in your dock because we were attacked by the Borisons.
Looks like this argument could go on forever. Let's not get involved in a heated dispute that won't lead to a resolution.
Make your brain feel brand new. Celestial Jade.
Who's in charge here? I need some answers.
It's my fault. We let our guard down for a moment. I take full responsibility.
With the war dance approaching, safety should be a top priority. Now, tell me, how did Borisin prisoners end up in Starskiff Haven? According to the protocol, Borisin prisoners should be held on a Starskiff and taken directly to the shackling prison under strict supervision without ever touching the...
Please don't blame this, Captain. This incident involves the Ming's diplomatic vessel.
Who are you?
I'm Lu Jun, an officer of the Patrol Defense Squad. Thank you for your help, Lieutenant Yanqing. The situation unfolded rapidly and it shouldn't be held. Here's what happened. An IPC transport ship was attacked by the Borisin just before arriving, and the Ming's diplomatic vessel came to the rescue.
So, an IPC ship was attacked by the Borisin near the Luofu, and the Ming envoys saved them? This sounds complicated.
Honestly, it gives me a headache too. The Ming diplomatic ship, adhering to standard procedure, docked at the passenger terminal to hand these criminals over to the Luofu. You know, with all the outsiders flooding onto the Luofu, the Starskiff lanes are under immense pressure. The Borisin desperados decided to put up a fight before the prisoner transport Starskiff could get there. And that's what you just witnessed.
We'll make sure these prisoners are sent to the shackling prison as soon as possible.
I see. It's an unusual situation indeed. Maybe I should gather more details from others, so that the seat of divine...
Oh, you look much maturer now, Yanqing.
Please don't tease me, Miss March. The situation on the Xianzhou before the war dance is like a calm lake that can be disturbed by even the smallest pebble.
What are those people? I mean, those monsters we just dealt with?
Yeah, those werewolf monsters are known as Borisin. They're abominations of abundance, and we've been fighting them for a very long time. The Borisin have been a powerful force for a long time, plundering and enslaving many worlds. The threat they pose is just as terrible as the Swarm disaster, and the Alliance even had a fierce war with them 3 decades ago. And their presence has faded over the years. But who would have thought?
According to that officer, they attacked an IPC ship near the Xianzhou Luofu. Such a brazen attack seems quite unusual to me.
Yeah, that's what I find strange too. It seems like the IPC and the Borisin have some serious grudges. Well, enough with the chit-chat. The General wants me to take you to the Palace of Astrum. I'd love to chit-chat a little longer, but there are some things that can't be left unchecked.
Is it a serious matter? Maybe you'll need our help in hunting down the Borisin?
Thank you, but it's no big deal. By the way, that young lady who just appeared, she took my sword. I'm thinking of filing a lost property report at the Realm Keeping Commission.
I doubt she did it on purpose.
Don't remind me. I just zoned out for a moment, that's all. Alright, let's not keep the General waiting.
Don't worry. There aren't many people out there with that kind of talent. It shouldn't be too hard to find her.
There sure are a lot of troublemakers around.
It's been a long journey, Elder Huayan. Thank you for your presence.
Don't mention it. Thank you for taking the time to welcome me.
General, I brought our guests from the Express. Oh, I'm sorry for my bad timing. I didn't know you were meeting a guest, General.
Don't worry, you're just in time. It's been a while, my friends from the Astral Express. Oh. Well, it's an honor to be in your dreams, my friend. Allow me to introduce you to General Huayan. He's the Arbiter General of the Xianzhou Zhuming, known as the Flaming Heart.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a tourist here, no different from other tourists who've come to attend the ceremony.
Elder Huayan is not only one of the Arbiter Generals, but also the Furnace Master of the Artisanship Commission. Besides his martial skills, he excels in forging various weapons.
Be it Arbiter General or Furnace Master, these are merely titles given to me long ago. I've retired several times already, but with the current change in circumstances, the Marshal has called me back to duty. And well, in the end, I'm to blame. Living such a long life naturally brings...
It's an honor to meet you, General Huayan.
It's my honor to meet you, General Huayan.
No need to be all formal. Today I'm just a guest on the Lawfu, the same as all of you. So, these three are the ones you mentioned, Jingyuin? The heroes who helped you with the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
Indeed. There's Don Hung, March 7th, and her. Without their help, I'm afraid the Lawfu might not have easily overcome this crisis.
So, the Imbibiter Lune's reincarnation has returned to the Lawfu and will attend the war dance. I'd love to have a drink with you should the chance present itself.
You're more than welcome, General Huayan.
And this young friend is?
Yanqing, my apprentice. He remains by my side as my retainer due to his youth, which I hope will season him with experience. He will stand for the Lawfu's Cloud Knights in the upcoming war dance, ready to take on all kinds of challenges.
Great, great! It's a real treat to see so many talented young people around here today. Oh, I almost forgot. This is my apprentice, Yoon Lee.
It's you!
Oh, it's you. Hello.
Oh, you two already know each other? Guess we don't need any introductions then.
What a coincidence! I was afraid I'd have trouble finding this girl.
Oh? Now you've piqued my curiosity. Tell me, how did you two become acquainted?
She helped me capture the escaped Borisin prisoners at the Starskip Haven. Allow me to express my gratitude for you. But when you left, you took my flying sword with you.
Your flying sword? Oh, so that's why I found a dagger in my bag. Turns out it's yours.
Yes, it is. Now that we've met it...
Nope, that won't do.
Won't do?
You want your sword back, right? Well, you can't just take it back. On the Juming, when you lose your sword on the battlefield, you have to reclaim it on the battlefield. As for this little sword, it was supposed to strike that escaped Borisin prisoner. But unfortunately, its owner's agitated state... By the way, if I hadn't caught it and helped it hit its mark, that Borisin prisoner would have gotten away.
Hold on a sec, Yoon Lee. You took my sword without even asking, and now you're refusing to give it back?
So much for Lawfu's swordmasters.
What did you just say?
If you just stepped up and took your sword back from me fair and square, I would have totally respected you. But nope, you tried to play it down. With all due respect, you don't honor your sword. So you don't deserve it.
Hasn't anyone told you that taking without asking is stealing? If you want to settle this with swords, fine. Let's have a one-on-one duel right now.
Yanqing.
Well, that's more like it. Just be careful. Because I'm not as easy to handle as a...
You two, be quiet and apologize to Yanqing.
Hey! Whose side are you on, Grandpa?
I don't...
It's a small misunderstanding, and an apology would be too much. I've heard about the Zhu Ming's incredible swordplay and craftsmanship. Most notably, the legendary flame wheel octet.
Such grandiose names. Some folks love to spin these fancy titles, trying to set the Cloud Knights apart. Yoon Lee is still just a young girl, a bit awkward and hot-tempered. So please forgive her if she...
Well, everyone, Elder Huayan and I have some business to discuss. For now, I'll find another chance to talk with you all. I'd like to...
That's so kind of you. I mean, you've already thanked us so many times.
Please forgive me for coming at an inconvenience.
You needn't apologize, General Huayan.
All right, Yoon Lee. Take this opportunity...
Yeah. It's better to make friends than enemies. But I won't be heading to the inn just yet. I want to visit Lingsha. She just...
Yangqing, once you've helped our guests get settled, go to the Artisanship Commission for me. I've heard about the attack and the see if you can calm them down. Don't get aggressive. Just make it clear that the Xianzhou...
I'm on it.
I'm sorry.
Not at all. Taunted by Yoon Lee like that, even a training dummy would be angry. You've taught your apprentice well. If it were me in my younger days, I'm afraid Yangqing can understand your concerns. On the other hand, Yoon Lee is still a naive girl who's only interested in swordplay.
This trip is totally worth it. Compared to the Zhu but it's a shame the Luofu swordmasters don't see. Glad to meet you too. Are you here to participate? So, you're not a participant? Well, you can still sign up. The Cloud Knight's ring is always open to out. I have some things to do. Besides, little Yangqing doesn't seem too happy about me. Yeah, you're right. I took it with my skills. So, I guess you can say I'm a robber or something. Besides, the sword seems scared of its own master. I'd like to ask him. You claim to cherish your sword as your life. Yet you don't even recognize... I didn't intend to keep his sword. I was planning to take this chance to return it to him. But now, I've changed my mind. I'll give that poor flying sword some proper maintenance. I won't consider returning the sword unless he learns how to say please, hello, thank you, and sorry. So he can forget about it for now.
Hey, Don Hung. I thought all the Xianzhou generals were like Jing Yuan, but that General Huayan, he looks so thin and scraggy, as if even a light breeze would knock him over.
Well, each Xianzhou ship has its own division and specialty within the Alliance. Not all of the Arbiter Generals are good at leading the charge. You heard what Jing Yuan said, right? General Huayan was once the head of all the skilled craftsmen on the Zhu Ming.
Yeah, you've noticed that too? It's really weird. Do the Xianzhou people age? I rarely... But General Huayan looks like an ordinary...
Good question. He's right there.
Nah, I like...
We should leave. General Jing Yuan asked Yangqing to entertain us, so obviously, he has important
This is the report Qingzu just sent me. Let me... Looks like the General has given me a tough challenge. Well, it's not exactly a test. As Cloud Knight officers, it's just, you know... Talking things out isn't as straightforward as duking it out with weapons on the battlefield. This is especially true when you're up against the IPC, with their non-stop corporate babble. Well, let's not worry about that for now. Shall I take you to the inn?
It is the Law Fu's honor to have you in attendance at the war dance. Yet, the fact that a simple martial arts ceremony has attracted esteemed generals from the Zhu Ming and the Yao Qing implies intentions beyond mere spectating. Might there be any specific instructions from the Marshal?
You're overthinking it, Jingyuan. As I said, I'm here to broaden my granddaughter's horizons. I have no ulterior, however. I have no clue what the Yao Qing Arbiter General has in mind. Do you remember when you accepted this position? I told you that an Arbiter General's battlefield goes beyond the physical one. You'll need to lead and manage everything on the Xianzhou. The title of Arbiter General holds a weight far greater than its literal meaning. So many years have passed, and you've done well. However, longevity for the Xianzhou people can be a curse. Living too long means that every mistake you made will lurk in the shadows. And one day, they'll eventually catch up to you. The Marshal knows everything that has happened on the Luofu. As for the Merlin's Claw of the Yao Qing, she has come specifically for you. Speaking of which, why hasn't she arrived yet? They say the Merlin's Claw strikes like lightning. Being late isn't her style.
That's not true, General Huayan. She's been here a while, but I'm sure you've heard of her unbridled nature.
As soon as she disembarked from the star skiff, she mentioned having something to attend to, and simply disappeared.
You must be the messengers from the Xianzhou Yao Qing, I assume.
We are Jiaoqiu and Moza, retainers of the Merlin's Claw. It's an honor to meet you in person, Arbiter Generals.
Now this is interesting. A guest who doesn't come to visit but sends a message instead. What does she mean? Tell me, what could be more important to her than coming here?
Master heard about a spectacular view in Scale Gorge Waterscape. I believe she went there to enjoy it.
A spectacular view? Ha! Did you hear that, Jingyuan? This person is being sarcastic.
Please do not misunderstand me, General Huayan. I was simply stating the truth. Master thought it would be inappropriate to keep you waiting, so she sent us here. Once she's finished with admiring the scenery, she'll personally come and apologize to the both of you.
Drat, I forgot to ask Yun Li to return my sword. Unacceptable. Every sword is precious to me. If it weren't for the General's interference, I would have taught that shameless— by the way, I don't know if it's just me, but the General seemed a little— reserved? Could it be because of Elder Huayan's visit?
Reserved? Really?
Maybe I'm just overthinking.
No, you're not. When I entered the Palace of Astrum, I realized that the messenger from the Xianzhou Zhu Ming was actually the Arbiter General himself. So, the messenger from the Xianzhou Yao Qing must be the Merlin's Claw herself, I presume.
That's right.
Well, that's what makes this entire thing so unusual.
What's so unusual about it? They simply received an invitation from Jing—
The war dance is just a small festival. And now we have 2 Arbiter Generals from other Xianzhou ships here. I'm afraid they're here for something more. Huh. Maybe they've come to hold Jingyuan accountable for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
Hold him accountable? Come on, didn't the Luofu fall victim to the disciples of Sanctus Medicus and the Antimatter Legion? Why would they blame the—
Donshu's rebellion and Ventilia's scheming are merely one side of the story to the other Arbiter Generals of the Alliance. Only a single piece of incontrovertible evidence remains, creating an endless source of—
The Ambrosial Arbor.
Yes. It's undeniable that the Plague Mark, which was subdued by the Xianzhou Luofu, has resurfaced. But was it really a conspiracy instigated by the— Once the spark of suspicion is kindled?
What was I thinking? Seriously, here I was looking forward to a carefree and enjoyable trip. But it seems wherever we go, Trump.
Aw, I was so excited. I thought those Arbiter Generals were just here to see the ceremony. By the way, I heard that an alchemist from the Juming diplomatic ship has arrived. And rumors say that she's to be the new Cauldron Master of the—
An alchemist from the Juming serving as the Cauldron Master on the Luofu? While it's not unheard of, the timing itself—
Thanks to your words, Mr. Dan Heng. The General is under tremendous pressure right now, but I was completely oblivious to his troubles.
Come on, don't think like that. Leave the adult matters to the adults. Even if you wanted to do something for the General. Did I say something wrong? Again?
Miss March is right. I don't have the skills to share the General's burdens at the moment. Still, I'll do my best to follow his instructions. Let's go. Once I've taken you to your accommodations, I need to go to the Artisanship Commission to handle the IPC's protest.
He looks like he has a lot on his mind. We can't just let him go alone. Why don't we accompany you to the Artisanship Commission?
This is too much trouble. While I appreciate your kindness, dealing with the—
No worries. We're pretty experienced in dealing with the IPC. You've heard of the 10 Stone Hearts? Hey, who's bragging? Anyway, this time it'll just be a few ordinary IPC workers. Surely you don't think they'll be even trickier than Aventurine, do you?
Well, since you're willing to help, I won't decline your kindness. Let's head to the Artisanship Commission and meet them.
Can I really reason with you Xianzhou people? I think I get it now. In your words, this is called looting a burning house, right?
But I am trying to reason with you.
That toxic voice sounds familiar.
You know what? This isn't my first time dealing with the Skyfaring Commission. I can handle your unreasonable way, but straight up snatching IPC cargo, isn't that...
Just as I've said it many times already. Once we've inspected the cargo and—
I'm hearing you loud and clear. I'm thinking clear. And my answer is keep detaining my cargo and I'll file a complaint directly with your general. I was gonna ask you the same thing. Why do I keep running into you? Staying on the Xianzhou, are you? What terrible luck. Wherever you go—
Aren't you the guest from the Astral Express? What brings you and Yanqing to the Artisanship Commission?
They're in trouble? No, it's me! I'm the one in trouble!
Looks like you've met this IPC worker before. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. I was sent here to deal with the IPC protests in Nishikwe. What's going on here?
As you know, this IPC transport ship was attacked by the Borisin and rescued by the Juming's diplomatic ship. Then the Cloud Knights were instructed to bring it back to the dock for repairs and inspections. And this is Mr. Scott, the person in charge of this transport ship.
So, you're Scott. I've heard her mention you. Weren't you kicked up?
Like I wanted to come back. I thought I'd just dock at the harbor for repairs and leave this forsaken place for good. Little did I know, as soon as the
What do you mean by snatched? I've told you a million times. It's a
Then why did you bring the cargo to the Artisanship Commission? You even brought in some shady craftsmen. It's obvious you're trying to steal.
Listen here. Firstly, the Skyfaring Commission detected dangerous items that could possibly be weapons in your cargo hold. That's why they called me here.
Even if there are dangerous items, what do they have to do with you? It's not even being shipped to the Lawfu. We'll just fix the ship and be on our way. We won't...
But you'll have to stay in the port for several days before your ship is repaired and you can take off again. How can we just...
I understand, but we don't need to disassemble the car.
In most cases, we don't. However, our scans discovered that the cargo doesn't only contain machinery, but also some substance that...
Biological tissue?
I'm afraid we'll need to wait for the Alchemy Commission for further confirmation. In any case, according to our regulations, we need to unseal one of the crates for further examination.
The Alliance's regulations on biological products are very strict. Without further inspection...
Oh, really? Fine! If anyone lays a finger on that shipment, they'll have me to deal with. It doesn't matter if it's mechanical or biological. It's none of your...
This Mr. Scott seems stubborn and difficult to persuade. Honestly, I really don't... I heard how you helped Aramali. The IPC representative back then was Mr. Scott, right? Since you've dealt with...
What are you guys whispering about over there? Just... Get up, all of you! Why is the IPC even...
Just be grateful that that little brat showed you mercy. At least your staff aren't seriously injured. How do you IPC cronies have the audacity to fight Cloud Knights?
Another one?
I may be a bit late, but the good news is, I'm here now. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lingsha, Cauldron Master and head of the Alchemy Commission on the Lawfu.
Could she be?
Yeah, she's the new Cauldron Master assigned here from the Xianzhou Zhuming.
I received a report from the Artisanship Commission about cargo containing samples of unknown organisms. It said they needed help from the Alchemy Commission. I had nothing better to do, so I came myself. It's fine, Mr. Scott. If you really don't want your cargo to be inspected, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter? How can you say that?
Why are you being so nice all of a sudden? Well, since you're not going to check it, I'll take...
Yeah, sure. Why should I object? Not only this sample, but all the goods on the transport ship are yours to keep. Like I said, we won't inspect...
Wait a minute!
Well, that's more like it. If only... Our ship will leave in a few days once the engines are...
Your ship can leave whenever you want. But I'm afraid I can't say the same for your cargo. According to the import and export regulation signed between the Xianzhou and IPC, all biological shipments can only leave the port when they have confirmed to be of no. Since we can't determine if your shipment is safe for the environment, I guess we'll have to wait for its biological activity to expire. Let me check the previous cases. Normally it'll only take around 47 star calendar years.
Only?
Why so surprised? You're still young and full of energy. I'm pretty sure you'll live a few more decades. Have some...
Ha! Typical of a long-life species. Your words are dripping with sarcasm. While you may not care about time, I do. I'll be demanding double compensation.
Sure thing, Mr. Scott. You seem pretty confident that your career and life will last long enough to witness this victory.
Step aside, guys. Let them do the inspection.
But, Mr.
Come on, we're already in enough trouble. Just let them do the security inspection. And if needed, I can always grovel before the Intelligentsia Guild later. I'm just using my head for what it's apparently good for. Well, honestly, at least you're not as annoying as that woman.
But you're still as annoying as ever.
This lady is really something else. Is this the IPC product?
Listen up. Any damages caused by inspections will be filed with the IPC!
Turn it off. Were you seriously planning to leave this stuff unchecked at the dock for days? That's way too dangerous.
I had no idea about it! You must have accidentally triggered the cargo's defense program!
I don't think trying to shift the blame is a wise choice.
But seriously, I don't know why that thing suddenly started moving! I swear on the Amber Lord!
Enough. Miss Shikwe, please escort our IPC guest to the Skyfaring Commission.
I'm on it. Please follow me, Mr. Scott.
Gentlemen, our preliminary inspection shows that there is indeed hidden biological tissues inside, just like the craftsman feared. I can't even tell if it's ingenium or biological in nature.
The core of this device is what they call wetware in industry slang. To put it simply, this machine operates with a kind of biological nerve as its control center.
I'll take some samples for the alchemist to analyze and figure out where the biological tissue comes from.
Why would the Intelligentsia Guild use such unethical technology? Perhaps they're trying to create a new weapon?
Whatever the reason is, it's probably why the Borisin attacked the ship. No wonder the IPC were trying to obstruct our inspection. I'll contact the Ten Lords Commission and ask the judges to come and give their final verdict. According to our rules, all prisoners and weapons involving dangerous creatures must be taken to the shackling prison for further sentencing. After all, it's the safest place on the Luofu. As for you, Mr. Craftsman, please go with the Cloud Knights and explain the situation to the judge. I had a feeling that the IPC members would cause trouble, but I didn't think they'd be this tricky. Thanks for your help, Miss Lingsha.
I should thank you for saving my life. Your sword skills were impressive. Taking down that big guy. I thought the General's retainers were all burly martial masters. I didn't expect Yenqing to be so... Yeah, exactly. He's young and talented. As for you, you must be the guests from the Astral Express, right? Saving the Luofu from that crisis. It wasn't a... It's still early. So why don't we get some tea at the Alchemy Commission? We can discuss your suggestions for revitalizing the commission.
I'd be happy to...
And you three are coming too, right? All these years, the view of the Alchemy Commission hasn't changed a bit. The tides come and go, but the ancient sea remains the same. For us Vidyadhara, there's nothing more nostalgic than our homeland.
You're a Luofu native, Miss Lingsha?
Yes, I grew up here, listening to the sound of waves while researching prescriptions with my mentors and peers at the Alchemy Commission. It's kinda sad, isn't it? Everything changes but somehow remains familiar. Just like you, Don Hung, I traveled far from home, and now I've returned.
Seeing the familiar scenery brings...
The view here would be even better without the ambrosial arbor.
Oh, really? I think that towering tree looks pretty...
Even if it's impressive, it's a plague mark. The Xianzhou have been fighting abominations for thousands of years. And now that the ambrosial arbor has been reborn, it's only natural for everyone to feel uneasy.
Well, once a seed is planted, no matter how long it takes, in my humble opinion, the rebirth of the ambrosial arbor and the resurgence of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were inevitable. The seed was already planted when the ancestor... My bad. Well, since you went through the entire ambrosial arbor crisis firsthand, Dan Heng and Lieutenant Yan Qing, I'd like...
What would you like to discuss, Miss...
I was lucky enough to be chosen by the Alliance to come in and clean up all the old grime in the Alchemy Commission. Honestly, the Alchemy Commission is riddled with problems and has reached a point where fixing it seems impossible. I'm looking to remedy this problem.
Well, even though I'm a Vidyadharan like you, I'm an outsider, just like my companions here. I can't release the Vidyadhara and the Alchemy Commission on the Luofu have always been intricately connected. If you cannot distance yourself from these ties, Miss Lingsha...
I may not know about politics, but I do know that the disciples of Sanctus Medicus have been operating within the Alchemy Commission.
I see. Thank you for your valuable insights. While the Lux Arrow from the Rainbow possesses unparalleled power to sever the ambrosial arbor, it can't sever mortals' desire to prolong their existence. Just like how the Cloud Knights can eliminate the remnants of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, but are unable to calm the hearts and minds of the people. Our Xianzhou forebears knew this well, and that's why they entrusted the duty of guarding the roots of the arbor to the Vidyadhara. However, the Vidyadhara are still only mortal beings. 30 years ago, my mentor served as Alchemy Commission's Cauldron Master. She recognized the emerging undercurrents and sought to cleanse the source of the disturbance. Unfortunately, even though she was skilled in the art of healing, she didn't understand the human heart or how to eliminate the sickness lurking within the depths of the Alchemy Commission. In the end, she was framed and exiled to the Juming. I was also implicated and had... And guess who arbitrated the case and handed down the sentence? None other than General Jing Yuan himself.
What?
You heard it right. The ones responsible for the corruption in the Alchemy Commission are not just the remnants of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, but even the Divine Foresight himself. Alas, why is your face turning pale, Yench? Don't worry about it. I understand that when someone holds a position of power, they may sometimes have to make tough decisions. I won't hold any personal grudges against him. Besides, at our age, holding personal grudges is a luxury we can't afford.
Lingsha, you're back! I've been waiting ages for you.
Yunli! Why aren't you with your grandpa? What brings you to the Alchemy Commission? Well, let me take this opportunity to introduce you to...
You stole my sword! Give it back!
I see. Let's skip the introduction part then.
Why do I keep bumping into you?
Are you stalking me? Of course not. Unlike you, Miss Yunli, I have important things to take care of. You, on the other hand, seem to have all the time in the world to...
Grandpa used to say that a sword reflects its master. I talked to your sword, and it told me that you've been distracted. Now that I see you again, I realize your sword was right. It wasn't me who took your sword.
Do you really expect me to believe that nonsense? I've been taking it easy on you because you're a guest from the Juming, but you're not taking the hint.
Just look at this flying sword. Even if I gave it back to you now, you know the Cloud Knight saying, A Cloud Knight must never let slip their weapon. Yes? Well, sure. I can give it back to you now. But on the battlefield...
Fine! You don't have to give it back, because I'll...
Between these two, who do you think is tougher, Don Hung? Don't get me wrong.
Get ready to separate them.
It is my first day at the Alchemy Commission. A brawl is definitely not how I imagine celebrating. Well, since you don't approve, I won't draw my sword here. I didn't mean it in that way. Since you've already drawn your sword, I've received reports that the delves near the Alchemy Commission are still infested with abominations. Seems like my predecessors left quite a mess. Clearing out some
It's the Cloud Knight's duty to eliminate those abominations. You don't have to ask me.
Oh, you think you're the only one who knows how to behave? If Lingsha... It's so heartwarming to see both of you being so sweet and caring. Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were eradicated, their experimental abomination... If you want a contest, I'll be the referee. Lingsha, as always, it's for your own good, little Yunli. While you desire to compete against each other,
That's really thoughtful of you, Cauldron Master.
So, are you both... Ugh. Looks like my... Let me say it again. The one... Be careful when you draw your swords, and make sure you don't hurt each other. Can we...
I win, Miss Yunli!
You got lucky.
Why don't you just give me back my sword, sincerely apologize, and then go Consider yourself lucky that I'm not interested in your rusty sword.
Because all you did was chop down a few monsters. If you think you can just take this sword from my hand...
Well fought, my young friends. However, both of you have shortcomings. One of you focuses on dodging and weaving, while the other relies on brute strength, trying to take down targets with a single strike.
Who are you?
Me? I'm just a patient seeking medicine from the Alchemy Commission. A passerby, if you will. I thought I'd see my fill of impressive fights during the war dance. Yet here I am, able to witness a remarkable fight at the Alchemy Commission, of all places. Well, the Lawfu is never short of surprises. However, I have a small suggestion for you. Why don't you settle this dispute fair and square in the war dances ring? That way, you can resolve your differences with a proper duel and put your grudges behind you.
Grudges? No, not at all. Yunli and we were just sparring.
Sparring? You summoned your flying swords and she swung her sword with full strength. No grudges between you. I don't believe it.
Aha! What brings you here, Lady Fei Xiao? Have you finished your health consultation with the Dragon Lady? Fei Xiao? Grandpa always talks about you. Could it be that you are...
The Merlin's Claw of the Xianzhou Yaoqing?
Looks like I'm quite famous on the Xianzhou Lawfu, too.
Of course. Everyone
has heard of the great general, known to all and unbeknown to none.
Great general? Isn't that title a bit too narcissistic? I don't like it. Ooh, I heard there's a dozing general on the Lawfu, so I came up with a humble nickname for myself. The Lacking General. Lacking in worries, regrets, and rivals. Sounds much better, right?
Yeah, that's a befitting title that sounds both humble and impressive. Now that the sparring session is over, Yanqing and Yunli, shouldn't you politely thank General Fei Xiao for her guidance and bury the hatchet?
Here's your sword. Keep it safe. Or it might get taken away again. By the way, we haven't settled the score yet. I'll defeat you fair and square next time we fight.
This is how she apologizes? Now that I finally got my sword back, I should report to the seat of divine foresight. I'll take my leave, General Fei Xiao. Oh, by the way, Miss Linksha, if you've got some free time, I'd like to invite you to the seat of divine foresight for a chat with General Jingyuan. I think there's more to those personal grudges you mentioned earlier.
Thanks for stepping in, General Fei Xiao. Otherwise, I'd have had to knock them out with my incense.
Not at all. Just doing what you asked. How about we call it even as payment for the healer lady's consultation?
Sorry, but even a general needs to pay their bills. We don't do credit here. And let's not forget, you'd have been waiting decades for a chance to see the Dragon Lady if it weren't for me.
Well, you can always send the bill to the seat of divine foresight and say it's for mentoring those kids. After all, it was quite the effort splitting them up. I nearly had to get tough. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to find a spot and get some fresh air. Back already? You've met with Jing Yuan and wandered around for a few hours. So, what do you think?
It appears that the Divine Foresight is using this war dance as a show of strength to convince everyone that the Lawfu is prospering.
But... I know you're going to say but, right?
But the influx of people attending the war dance is like a breeding ground for disorder and rumors. One wrong move, and the Lawfu could be in a world of chaos.
The Cloud Knights on the streets remain vigilant, so at the very least, General Jingyuan is aware of this. As for other matters, I'm unable to say.
I'd prefer to be excused from future meetings with generals. I'm just a military healer. And now all of a sudden I'm thrust onto the center stage having cordial chats with two generals?
My work doesn't lend itself to being in the limelight either.
Just stop whining. At least you're in one piece, right? Before getting in touch with General Jing Yuan, I wanted to put aside my assumptions and see his momentum. That includes the overall bearing of the Cloud Knights on the street, what people are saying, and how those close to him behave.
The might of an army dwells not within its pawns, but within the force of its collective momentum. Recognizing this fact reveals...
A perfectly clear statement turned confusing thanks to your translation. You've made me lose where I was now. Anyway, this is how I operate in battle, so you might as well get used to it.
Are you treating General Jingyuan as your enemy?
The longest-serving general of the Xianzhou Lawfu. Do you think he'd have only a few enemies?
By the way, General, you met the healer lady, yes? Could you show me the medicine she prescribed you?
Well, the healer lady couldn't do anything about my condition. She just told me to enjoy some tasty food.
So not even the famed healer lady could help? Don't worry. I'll fulfill my promise and find a way to cure you.
Well, life and death, Jiao Cho. It's all predetermined. Upon starting my military career, I made a pledge that the rest of my life would be dedicated to being the Xianzhou spearhead. As long as I can fulfill that deep-seated desire, I don't care. You asked if I view General Jin Yuan as my enemy. No. My real enemy has always been...
Enjoy some tasty food. So, what's for dinner tonight?
Jeez. You really know how to read the room, don't you?
You guys figure it out for yourselves. I'm due to catch up with an old war friend I've not seen.
Hey! Was that the Yaoqing general who just dropped in out of nowhere? Oh, she's so awesome! I mean, when Yun Li swung that massive sword, she just casually blocked.
Mine too.
Yeah. But to go up against Yun Li is quite impressive. You think so too, right?
I agree. General Fei Xiao is indeed impressive.
I was talking about Yanqing, actually.
Thanks for the kind words, Miss March. The war dance is coming up, and I've been chosen to represent the class. I've had my fair share of defeats lately, and even though I know there are always more skilled sword masters out there, seeing General Fei Xiao's skills today has made me feel—
Don't underestimate yourself. After all, generals won't fight in the ring during the war dance. Just remember the state of mind you had when you single-handedly took on me and Blade, putting life and death aside.
I see. Thanks for the advice, Master Danheng. By the way, now that today's events are over...
I bet it's about how to deal with the generals from the...
I really don't want to get caught up in grown-up games so soon. I just hope Generals Fei Xiao and Huaiyan can see the truth. We don't need any more chaos.
Earlier at the Palace of Astral, I introduced these guests from the Astral Express to you, Elder Huaiyan. But with all the people around, we only exchanged pleasantries. Now, I'd like to officially introduce them. These three braved great dangers, accompanying me into perilous places, defeating the chief culprit Vantilia, and uncovering the conspiracies of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus. If you wish to know more, please, feel free to ask us.
Well, I skimmed through the reports about the Arbor's rebirth from the Master Diviner Hu Xuan. But despite all that, I believe in you. Since you joined the ranks, you have repeatedly achieved remarkable feats. After the High Cloud Quintet each went their separate ways, despite the many criticisms over the years, you've served the Alliance with loyalty and wisdom. You've taken down abominations in Thalassa, rescued the Xianzhou Yuchui from a siege, and destroyed the demonic planet. There are fools who doubt your loyalty. They're happy to see the divine foresight fail because it gives them some kind of sick satisfaction. They haven't achieved anything of their own, so they feed off. But I've seen enough failures in my time, and I want to believe that your loyalty has...
So, General Fei Xiao of the Yaoqing is the only one investigating the Ambrosial Arbor crisis on behalf of the Alliance?
No. I am too.
This old man's words always catch me off guard.
The Marshal ordered me to come to the Xianzhou Laofu, but the document only says attend the war dance and listen to Fei Shao's questioning. The Marshal is well aware of Jing Yuan's purpose in holding the ceremony and understands the situation he is facing. She mentioned it because she believes both issues are important.
Thanks for your kindness and sincerity, Elder Huayan. But is it appropriate to tell everyone here about the Marshal's orders?
By introducing the Express's witnesses to me alone, aren't you aiming to discern the intentions behind both my actions and Fei Shao's? Whether there's any discord between us? Well, since I'm being open and honest. As for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, all I need to do is listen. General Fei Shao will be the one asking the questions. To be honest, oh, by the way, I've prepared a gift. Yes, it's this case right here. There will be numerous contests and celebrations during the war dance. And the host will dispatch a skilled warrior to take on challengers from all over the cosmos, showcasing the excellent martial arts of the Xianzhou Luofu. When you mentioned that the Astral Express would be attending the ceremony, I thought...
You humor me, Elder Huayan. The healer lady is just a young lady.
I'm no match to you when it comes...
What's this box for?
This sword case is intended for the War Dance's award. It's empty now, but in a few days, a precious sword will be delivered and stored. I don't mean to boast about our skills, but this sword represents the pinnacle of the Zhuming's craftsmanship. It has a legendary history, full of heroic tales from foreign lands. I've been wondering... who would be worthy of such a sword? And then it hit me. I can award it to the champion of the Ringmaster's Challenge. Moreover, I hear that Yanqing is an excellent swordmaster, and that he will be representing...
Thank you for your generosity, Elder Huayan.
If you want to give me a sword, just say the word, Grandpa. No need to...
You've got confidence, my girl. But I don't think you can best Yanqing.
I know you're all about swords, Miss Yunli. It's just a shame that it's the sword that
Yeah, and even if someone gets their hands on such a precious sword...
The outcome of our duel at the Alchemy Commission is still up in the air. Since you're interested, why don't you represent the Xianzhou Juming and challenge me in the ring?
That's exactly what I had in mind. Nobody knows who's gonna come out on top. It could be me, could be someone else. It'll probably be me. But whatever happens, it won't be him.
Not to be rude or anything. We've been watching their drama. I'm done.
Quiet down. We have other guests here. I've prepared this sword to add some excitement to the ceremony, not to have you two squabble. It's not a good look. While you both seem confident that you'll win, you need to remember there can only be one winner and one loser in the ring. Which could lead... We don't know who the winner will be, and it might not be either of you. But if you're eyeing that prize, you'll need to work together. I want...
How does that make sense?
In my humble opinion, while a Cloud Knight is commendable by securing victories, it's even more so to pass on your... I'd be greatly pleased if this apprentice could represent the Express in the war dance by displaying their Cloud Knight flair and prowess.
Well, Elder Huayan's idea is quite interesting. Imparting swordplay skills requires teamwork, and both the winner and the loser will learn a valuable lesson regardless of the outcome.
Huh? Who? Wait, me?
I noticed just now that Miss March seemed quite interested in the outcome of your sword fight.
Wait, are you serious, General? Why am I being dragged into this all of a sudden? I've never practiced swordplay before. I'm a total newbie. You really think I can learn it? Well, you'll probably realize I have no hope and give up on me. That'd be so embarrassing.
Isn't this a perfect chance for you? I remember you mentioning that you wanted to learn some sword moves.
Yeah, I did say that. But this is all happening so quickly.
Miss March is like a piece of jade in the rough, just waiting to be shaped. The war dance...
I appreciate your kind words, General YN. But won't teaching me swordplay be a waste of Yanqing and Yunli's time? They should be preparing for the Plus, I heard that each swordmaster has their own special moves. What if they let something slip while teaching me? If everyone knows each other's tactics, won't that make it...
That's considerate of you, March 7th. But don't worry. It'll take you at least a decade of hard training before you can even start learning special moves.
Looks like March's curiosity has been piqued.
The whole point is to know each other's moves. Defeating your opponent in just one move? How boring would that be? Plus...
So Miss Yunli has already agreed.
General, I haven't graduated yet. How can I be qualified to teach?
So you're admitting your defeat, huh? If you're not even confident to teach, why don't you let me be the...
Yanqing, teaching an apprentice is also a way of honing your own skills and gaining insights. You've been an apprentice.
I see, General.
Now that Yanqing has agreed too.
It's up to you to make the final decision, March.
At least that way, I won't have to worry about you accidentally shooting me in the butt all the time.
Hey, I've never missed my target. Then I'm on board. Thank you.
Great! Starting tomorrow, Yanqing and Yunli and I will head out and purchase some sword practice equipment for Miss March. Think of it as a little...
You're too kind. Wait. General Huayan's gone. Wait, why does something feel off about what we talked about? I think we strayed off topic. How did things even get to this point?
Yeah, I brought you here because the General said he had some important matters to discuss. But how in the world did you...
Because... General Huayan wants us to stick around on the Luofu for some time. But from his point of view, we're no different from all the other tourists who may leave at any time. Since the crew's actions were mentioned in the Luofu's operations log were given to the Alliance, he probably wants to see firsthand if we're as capable as the report claims. And he wants to see it for himself during the war dance. Which is why he even dragged Yunli into this. What began as a simple contest between two sword masters...
Elder Huayan is... still that tricky general who likes to give everyone a headache. My apologies. Truth be told, I invited all of you to the ceremony because I wished for you to act as my witnesses. In the coming weeks, I'll also invite all of you to a meeting with General Fei Xiao, where you may need to answer her questions and clear up any doubts she might have.
Don't worry, General. No matter what happens, I'm prepared to stay here as the Express's witness.
Thank you, everyone.
General, I know there isn't much I can do to share your burden, but... As the Luofu Ringmaster, I won't let anyone defeat me in the war dance.
I know.
The illustrious Merlin's Claw waiting for me? And for so long, too? It's quite an honor. It's been a while, General Fei Xiao.
It's been 30 years since we last saw each other. Right, Yukong?
Yes. Back then, you were the vanguard of the Yao Qing's Verdant Knights, and I was a pilot of the Luofu's Rainbow Orbit Fleet. Who would have thought that upon meeting again, you'd... Well, I wouldn't say I haven't seen you in 30 years. After all, your great victories are announced through the Yellow Bell resonance system every day. So I'm well aware of your great feats. How's your health holding up?
Still stable, I suppose. Do you still remember
that healer with the odd name and peculiar temperament? What was his name again? Was it Pichu? Or Kachio?
Jiao Cho. He's been my retainer and personal healer, delegated by the Alchemy Commission from the Xianzhou Yaoqing. Over the years, he's dedicated himself to managing my condition. Given my background, I'm happy to have made it this far.
I'm relieved to know that you're safe and sound. Well then, since you and Elder Huayan are here, I imagine you must have received orders from the Marshal? As your friend, may I ask how the Alliance intends to punish the General of the Lawfu?
The Arbor's rebirth has frightened the Elders who lurk behind the scenes. They fear the resurgence of abominations. Although the report from the Lawfu explained all the details, we don't know if the Ruin Legion really invaded, or how exactly the Stellaron Hunters and the Astral Express became involved. As you know, the fugitive Jing Liu, who mysteriously disappeared many years ago, has resurfaced. This time, she has brought along an Outworlder in a coffin, claiming to offer the Marshal. The Lawfu Preceptor has also leveled accusations against Jing Yuan for neglecting the Alliance's principles. She asserts that Jing Yuan enabled the exiled Imbibitor Lunae to re-enter the Lawfu, thereby unlocking the lunarescent depths within Scale Gorge Waterscape, which in turn disrupted the Vidyadhara's dutiful watch over the Ambrosial Arbor. It is for these reasons that I have come here. Well, duty calls. Perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned all of this to an uninvolved person, but since we once fought together, I didn't want to keep you in the dark. Perhaps pretending you didn't hear any of this would...
I understand. I'm sorry. I was out of line. I know I shouldn't be defending General Jing Yuan right now, but... well, the Lawfu has enjoyed centuries of stability since the end of the sedition of Imbibitor Lunae, much of which can be attributed to General Jing Yuan's masterful... Unfortunately, for long-life species, enduring through the ages always culminates in a failure that undoes all...
That's true. And that's why I'm also here for another purpose. To visit Hule.
Hule? You mean that Hule? The Borisin Warhead? The same Hule who has been imprisoned in the Shackling prison for over 7 centuries?
The nemesis of the Foxians who will never be forgiven and shall be imprisoned until the end of the cosmos. I can't quite remember the exact wording, but yes, the very same Hule.
Usually, only emissaries from the Xianzhou Yaoqing Skyfaring Commission visit him once every century.
The Foxians and the Alliance made a pact to combat the abominations, aiming to achieve justice and free their kin. That werewolf monster is to be forever imprisoned. Given the situation on the Lawfu, those on the Yaoqing are concerned about Hule's imprisonment. I'm afraid that that's why I was sent here, to reassure.
It's all bad news.
Well, not everything. There might be a silver lining. Oh, by the way, I found some clues about the thing you asked for.
Tell me.
The Verdant Knights followed the route you mentioned and discovered the wreckage of the Whistling Flame ship. Unfortunately, there were no... However, someone had already been on the scene before we arrived.
Our people? Or...
No, neither. Yukong, have you heard of a person named Ron May?
I'm still feeling sleepy. Did I oversleep? Where did March and Don Hung go?
Think you get away with your crime by pretending to be a waiter?
There you are.
You haven't forgotten about our promise to General Huayan, have you? I woke up especially early so I can start teaching Miss March.
Hey, why are you blushing, Master Yanqing?
This is, the first time someone has called me Master. I need to, get used to it. Let me make it clear. Swordplay training is about improving your body, mind, and strength. It's not a casual game you can master overnight. I promised General Huayan that I'd teach you Cloud Knight swordplay, so you can participate in the war dance and defeat at least one opponent. I'll do my best, but if you break your master's
Fine. A promise is a promise. Since I promised to study hard, I'll do my
great. That's a
March is in your hands now, Yanqing. Don't be too easy on her.
Don Hung, do you even have a heart? Did you lose it somewhere? By the way...
I've found a quiet spot in the back garden of the Palace of Astrum for our first lesson again.
Seriously? It's the first day, and you two are already late? Why is everyone on the Luofu so laid back? So disappointing.
Master Yunli, you're already here.
Oh, wait. Were you trying to teach her in secret?
I'm just showing you what Luofu etiquette is all about. She might be my apprentice, but it's customary for the master to personally escort their apprentice to the place of learning. As the host, I'll be teaching Miss March the essence of Luofu's swordplay, after which she'll emerge victorious in the war dance ring. You won't be
Stand aside, rookie. Let me show you how we Zhu-Ming sword masters... Quickly. Over here, Miss March. This is a reverse mentorship gift from me to you. I hope you put it...
What's this? Xianzhou clothing? It's so beautiful!
Sword practice requires precise movements. This outfit is tailored to fit perfectly and allows for smooth movements. I even added some...
You're awesome, Master Yun!
See? See? How can you compete with me? I'll teach March 7th the essence of Zhu-Ming swordplay so she can win the contest with my sword...
Actually, I prepared something too.
Huh? You have a gift for me too, Master Yanqing?
Since you want to learn swordplay, Miss March, you'll need suitable weapons. So, I went out of my way to prepare a pair of swords. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to ask the craftsman to customize the swords for you. But I did my best to choose ones that look nice and are suitable for a beginner.
Thank you, Master Yanqing!
Bet you didn't see that one coming.
The real competition is just getting started.
I'm so lucky to have two great masters. But why does it feel like things are getting a bit weird? So what do you think, masters? Does this outfit suit me?
Perfect. I chose it carefully. It's perfect for beautiful young swordswomen like you and...
Alright, let's get started with the training. The person next to me is a Cloud Knight instructor I've brought in. For your first lesson, try exchanging a couple of moves with him.
Wait. We're having actual combat training?
Well, I heard you have some experience with archery and martial arts. The first thing we're going to do is see just how... Come on. Step forward and strike with the sword in the most natural way you can think of. It's important for us to grasp your natural movements, so we can decide where to start.
If you're ready,
Let's...
Well, I heard you have some come on. Step.
Each blossom and divine sword descend.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Then I apologize in advance, Miss.
I didn't expect the first lesson.
Miss March has quick hands and a flexible body. She's a perfect fit.
However, she lacks strength, and her strikes were a bit unfocused. But don't worry, that's totally normal for beginners.
Given the situation, I believe in her strength.
Seriously, do you actually know anything about swordplay?
I could ask you the same thing. Dual swords require agility. So what's more important than footwork?
Instead of focusing on her strengths, we should address her weaknesses. The drawback of wielding two swords is not generating enough force. What good is being quick on your feet if you don't have
skilled sword masters know how to play to their strengths and work on their weaknesses. Start with what you're good at, then
You're quite the
theorist. You claim to be able to talk to swords.
Hey, it's only my first lesson, and you're already arguing. Come on, calm down, masters.
But it does matter. Just listen to me, March 7th.
Aww. Dear Himeko, Mr. Yang, and Pom Pom, we're all good here on the Xianzhou Lafu, so no need to worry. As for me, I've somehow become the apprentice to two Cloud Knight sword masters, and I've been honing one of them is Yanqing, the boy we've all met before. Both masters are super strict, giving me a real taste of how hard sword training can be. I tried to drag her into this, but she refused. Then I tried to rope Dan Hung in, but still, I didn't let the difficulty get to me. In just a few weeks, my sword skills have improved a lot. Both mine thanks to their guidance. I've actually made some progress. When I get back to the Express, looking forward to your reply.
Well done.
Miss March's sword skills are really coming along. She'll hold her own just fine in the war dance.
Just you wait and see. I'll show off my skills in the ring and win a match. I'll make both of you...
Can you believe it? March 7th has actually become a pretty decent swordmaster in such a short...
Are you sure he wasn't laughing?
Oh, shut up!
It's all thanks to your amazing guidance, masters.
Miss March, you're really getting the hang of wielding dual swords. If you're keen on advancing, trying out...
Oh, let me see. Which sword is the most powerful? Single sword?
There's no such thing as the most powerful sword. It's all about the skill of the swordmaster. Yanqing wields several...
First, you didn't kick my butt. Second, you'll never kick my butt. Third, how about we settle this right...
Yeah, I'm up for that. And if I kick your butt, you'll drop out.
Why are you two arguing again?
There was talk that the leading disciples of the Luofu and Zhuming generals were supposed to face off in the war dance, but for some reason, they suddenly teamed up to train an apprentice of their own. Tomorrow is the big day of the war dance. Shouldn't you two be focusing on...
You're... Oh, that's right.
You're the pink-haired fox from the Yaoqing.
This is Mr. Jiaoqiu, the healer working for the general of the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
Ah, got it. So, you're the participant attending the ward.
Sorry for the misunderstanding. I don't know anything about martial arts. I'm just here on the
If you know nothing about martial arts,
Well, my curiosity got the better of me, I suppose. When I heard Miss March's pondering about what to learn, I couldn't help but wander over. From my professional experience, cleavers, slicers, chopping knives, and carving knives are all just tools. It's like your sword teaching methods. If you align your ingredient, in other words, your apprentice's natural tendencies, with the right cooking. For example, golden eggplant tastes best when fried, cloud peppers when stir-fried, and yellow boulder beef when simmered.
all this talk... Anyway...
Well, it's just a metaphor. The medicinal school I follow on the Xianzhou Yaoqing is called the Ranja School. That specializes in...
So, you're the general's cook?
I'm a healer. But anyway, a cook who isn't interested in health doesn't make for a good... Seeing the way you're looking at me, it's obvious you think I'm just some feeble academic who likes to blabber on about martial arts. But, in reality, I know a thing.
Seriously? Trying to save face in front of kids?
Do you recognize this bottle of metal?
No.
This is called tumble dust.
Is it?
Well, it depends on how it's used. With just one drop, it's able to increase the dose or the potency, and it'll slow the metabolism, making the blood thin and resulting in the loss. This thing can save lives or take them.
That may be so, but still, I prefer...
Huh. Looks like I did get you all wrong. You're not a feeble scholar, but a sinister and despicable one.
Hey, why the insults all of a sudden? I'm just sharing some medical knowledge here. No.
Seems like you get real excited when talking about poison. I can't tell...
Picture this. Two individuals. The one standing is full of malice. In the throes of combat, where life and death hinge on a singular moment, every surviving the battlefield reshapes all notions of worth. Be it integrity or treachery.
Perhaps you've underestimated Yunli and me, Mr. Jiaoqiu. We may be young, but we've...
Well, then you should know that the war dance is nothing more than a contest.
When I was appointed as the ringmaster for the war dance, I asked the general, we Cloud Knights are supposed to... And this is how the general replied. To unsheath your sword in a ring, the war dance is the perfect chance to showcase martial virtue and forge alliances from all over the cosmos.
That's quite an insightful statement, Yanqing. Well, my apologies for being so short-sighted. Hearing you speak so highly of it has piqued my curiosity.
You want to see the Sky Splitter ship where the war dance will be held? Let's go! I bet Yunli and Miss March haven't seen it either, right? Well then...
Surviving the battlefield
Can you believe it?
Let's go. I'll give you a tour.
Looks like a lot of other visitors have also come to catch a glimpse of...
What's up, Mr. Jiaoqiu?
No, it's nothing.
Do you see that airship in the distance? That's the Sky Splitter, the venue for the war dance ceremony.
It doesn't look all that impressive from this distance.
The Sky Splitter is actually a decommissioned Lawfu military vessel. People aren't allowed on board until the war dance. Tomorrow, when the bell rings and the ceremonial cannons roar, I'll be there representing the Cloud Knights of the Xianzhou. Since I was a kid, I've been training in swordplay and the art of war under the general. I understand that I'm not like other kids. I never envied the toys and free, even in the thick of battle. Facing down each day, I could feel myself getting stronger and stronger. But then, I faced a really tough opponent. And just one slash shattered my confidence into 1,000 pieces. After that, I had to pick up the pieces and try to put myself back to... I often ask myself, why do I wield my sword? If defeat is inevitable, why do I... While the general could teach me the art of swordplay, he couldn't teach me... But after talking with you, Mr. Jiaoqiu, as a member of the Cloud Knights, and the General's apprentice, but when I wield my sword, it feels like I'm letting go of... That's why I wield...
Oh, Yanqing. So young, yet so grown up.
Age doesn't really matter.
I get it. Looks like all the kids on the...
It's not polite to ask a girl her age, no matter which Xianzhou ship you're on.
I'm not asking your age. I'm asking...
You don't talk like a cook. You sound...
Need I repeat my...
Well, I don't have a dream like Yanqing does. The only reason I'm
Sounds like that mind of yours is...
I bet you've got nothing better. My father was a craftsman. Since I was a kid, it's been clear to me that not everyone deserves to have a weapon, and so whenever I come across someone unworthy of a sword, I can't help but want to take it away from them.
Hey, what do you mean by an...
I see. Well, it's better to have a reason for wielding a sword than to be lost and confused. I've saved count...
What happened?
Oh, nothing. I was just reminded of some old friends and old tales. Judging from my professional perspective as a healer, both of you possess remarkable... Well, we've seen the Sky Splitter and toured the Stargazer Navalia. I guess it's time to say...
What? You're leaving already? But you haven't...
It's getting late, Miss March. Unlike you lot, I'm a grown-up bound by responsibility. By the way, Yanqing, is it normal to have so many people wandering around in an autumn?
Actually, this is a restricted area. But since you're all...
I understand.
Seriously? I just spent so much time...
Now that we're done with our tour of the...
Why don't we...
What? You want to secretly practice swordplay?
You know cramming before a fight never works out. For some reason, seeing the Sky Splitter has boosted my confidence. So, alright. I'll take you out of this.
Just shut up, Red Fang! This is not a beast ship. I need some time to take care of things.
You willingly donned the skin of a lowly beast to join this mission, dedicating yourself to our glorious cause. And now you're telling me you can't...
I'm doing my best, alright? It takes time to figure all this out.
When the guns go off tomorrow, all eyes will be on it. That'll be our only...
How's that?
Who's there?
Who are you guys?
An impromptu inspection. Why are there outsiders loitering in...
Hey,
kids. Didn't your parents ever tell you to stay away from the Stargazer Navalia? I know it's an automated facility, but it doesn't mean you can just break in and...
First of all, I'm an adult. Second, I didn't just...
Yeah, we flew here on a star skiff. Like...
Well, I'm not trying to tell you off, but this place...
Big sis! Let's go!
Huh? Ever hunt planes? Yeah, sure. Big sis will take you there.
Shua! You should have let me. Shh, the overhaul is done, and everything looks good. We should leave.
Could you repeat what you just said, Yenshi?
What did I say?
Big shit.
Come on. Can't you read the room?
Yeah, anyone could see that. That pink-haired box tried to say something. I'm pretty sure he sensed something fishy. Since he's not familiar with this place, he just...
I knew that from the beginning.
They said they were doing an overhaul, but
And it's suspicious how they suddenly finished their overhaul.
A Cloud Knight, a member from the Skyfaring Commission, and a craftsman. They're from various I have a feeling that if we secretly tail them, we'll definitely catch. Follow my lead, and be careful not.
never mind who they are. Let's just film them.
We should have just killed those lowly beasts. Those little brats won't take up much space. There are boxes all over this place. Just dump them into one and no one will notice.
Cut the theatrics, Grulok. Even the slightest slip-up could interfere with Lord Moktok's plans.
So where are we heading next?
To check the freight skiffs. We've got a lot of preparations to do. Weapons, supplies. We've got to be well prepared. Otherwise,
So, are they smugglers?
I have no clue. They seem to be moving those crates.
So...
Just hang in.
Let's just put the cargo here for now, all right? Then we'll move on to inspect the ships. Lord Moktok said that as soon as we're done, we're to board the freight skiff and leave this place.
Don't worry, I've changed the shipping schedule. You two, come with me.
Is it just me? I keep smelling that stench of lowly beasts everywhere we go.
Don't be so paranoid.
Looks like they're planning to escape on the skiffs in Stargazer Navap. They keep talking about their plans, but where did they come from?
They're definitely up to something bad. Wait.
Don't be so paranoid. We're running out of time. Shuhard, I'm coming!
What are they up to? They're all wearing official uniforms, but I'm pretty sure they're not members of the Sky.
Never mind who they are. Let's just film them. That way, if they do anything bad...
Look at this. A freight star skiff with enough room to fit at least 20 of my men. I'll let the other... Once we're past the checkpoint, there will be beast ships waiting for us. Lord Moktok is ready. The revival of our ancient bloodline.
What did he just say? Beast...
Who's there?
It's those brats! I told you to get rid of them, but you didn't listen, you idiot! Wipe them all out!
How is this possible? How did these Foxians change their appearances like that?
They're not Foxians at all. They revealed their true form. They're Borisin, just like the bandits I defeated on the
Wait, that means...
Well, how did the Borisin manage to infiltrate the Siege?
It's not just a simple disguise of wearing our clothing and shaving their whiskers. They're somehow able to alter their appearance. They even have official IDs for the Skyfaring Commission, the Artisanship Commission, and even the Cloud Knights? Let me check this fake Cloud Knight's tag. Maybe it'll give us some clue. Lujun, an officer of the Patrol Defense Squad? Wait!
What's the matter?
I encountered a patrol officer named Lujun before. It was a few weeks ago, when we were transporting the... If they can forge official identities and move around the Xianzhou without raising suspicion...
Even worse. If you find one
There are more Borisin hiding on the Xianzhou. I bet their plan is much bigger than just stealing information. We've got to report this to the Seat of Divine Foresight.
I am glad to finally meet you in person, guests from the Astral Express. I'm Fei Xiao, the General of the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
Let me introduce our guest to you. The one dressed in green.
He's the reincarnation of Imbibitor Lune, and the person behind him is the newest member of the crew. I've heard a lot about you. Outside the reports from the Law Fu, the Skyfaring Commission of the Yaoqing has also gathered plenty of information about both of you. I've been eager to meet you face to face for reasons that I'm sure General Jing Yuan has explained. Straight to the point. I like it. According to General Jing Yuan's report, the Ruin Legion is to blame for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, and all Arbiter Generals should pay attention to the Ruin Author's move. Over the years, the Destruction's minions have wreaked havoc on countless worlds, and the Alliance has been keeping an eye on them. But no one expected them to join hands with the remnants of the Abundance. The damage caused by the Ambrosial Arbor crisis was far less severe than expected, which is good news for us. However, it was quite different from... While I trust the bravery of the Divine Foresight and the Nameless, I'm curious about some details missing from the report. Let me be clear, the questions I'll ask might not reflect my actual thoughts, so please don't...
Please go ahead, General. But keep in mind, we can only answer based on what we know. And perhaps you already have the answers to your questions in your heart.
You have a clever tongue. I like it.
The Merlin's claw is quite articulate. Right now, her intentions are unknown, and Jing Yuan wants us to be on.
Let's cut to the chase. Before the crisis struck, the Astral Express was guided here by a Stellaron hunter, a wanted felon, in an attempt to resist. However, everyone in the cosmos knows of the Stellaron hunter's reputation. So, why did you place so much trust in them?
Apart from the Law Fu, there are many other worlds suffering from Stellaron corrosion. For example, Eurilo 6, the world that the Express stopped at before.
To the Express, Stellarons act as roadblocks on the Silver Rail and pose risks to the warping process. And that's why dealing with Stellaron issues is part of the duty of the Nameless.
Ah, I've heard about those problems caused by Stellarons. The Express connects various worlds, so it makes sense for you to take care of this. The Cosmos. Let's move on to the next question. The reports suggest that Don Shu, the master of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, colluded with the Lord Ravager and used the power of the Stellar. But here's the thing. Don Shu was just a chief alchemist. Even if she colluded with our enemies and summoned the Stellaron, how did she...
I personally met Don Shu once. Her closest friend was killed during the war on the Fang Hu, and she harbored deep hatred towards the Hunt. So she spent years making preparations in the alchemy.
Revenge is also a form of the Hunt. However...
Well, you should ask Don Shu herself for the answer.
Unfortunately, Don Shu is dead, and even her corpse has crumbled into ash. According to the report, Lord Ravager Fantilia is She disguised herself as an ambassador of the Skyfaring Commission and traveled with you.
Back then, we were working with Diviner Fu, and she also witnessed Fantilia's true form. You're not going to doubt one of your own people, are you?
Of course not. We can trust the testimony of Master Diviner Fu Xuan. However, even if she saw it with her own eyes... Oh, it seems that your answers have addressed all my questions. Generals, I am finished with my questioning.
So, what do you think, General Fei Shao? Have the doubts in the report been clear?
The two nameless have been honest in their answers. Even though there are some tricky details, my intuition tells me there is nothing wrong. However, the 3 questions I posed earlier were not just for the nameless, but for you too, General Jing Yuan. First, the disciples of Sanctus Medicus grew uninterrupted on the Law Fu, yet the 6th chariot. Second, you believed in the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy and entrusted outsiders to solve the crisis, even granting them access to. Third, you insist on holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, putting the Lawfu back in the...
Merlin's Claw. Is this your line of thinking, or the 10 Lords?
From the moment I walked in, I made it clear that the questions I'd ask might not reflect my act.
The disciples of Sanctus Medicus were deeply rooted and had been plotting for a long time. I admit it. As for the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy, I didn't believe all of it. But in the end, the Law Fu did survive the Ambrosial Arbor crisis. So, I think it's safe to say that Elio's prophecy about the future. And as for the war dance, do you think I'm unaware of the risks? However, risks can also be opportunities. The Law Fu has lain low for...
Just as I expected from our sophisticated divine foresight. You have a way with words. I like. But, unfortunately, ever since the report was submitted, the Alliance has been filled with rumors and speculation. Even within the...
So what are your thoughts on all of this?
As a fellow Arbiter General, I fully understand the difficulties of this position. Personally, I think all these rumors are meaningless drivel. Across the sea of stars, the divine foresight knows better, just as what happened on the Xianzhou Yaoqing recently.
You mean the Xianzhou Yaoqing is also...
The scouts of the Verdant Knights have sent back reports that Borisin are making trouble again. The Borisin packs that were once divided and scattered have started swallowing each other up, forming larger and larger packs. Moreover, there's an entity named Mongus behind it all.
An entity?
According to the report, this entity isn't actually a Borisin. It's a woman claiming to be the messenger of the Master of Immortality. She's described as having 12 faces and... That's right. You're lucky that I'm the one who came this time. If it were the Patina Justice or the Seer Strategist, this conversation might not be so friendly. I've always had faith in my instincts, so I don't doubt your good intentions. But the Alliance has its fair share of questions and doubts about the law.
What's in this plan, General Fei Xiao?
General Jing Yuan, you already know what has to be done. But since you don't want to be the bad guy, I'll take care of it for you. You need the final word from the Ten Lords Commission to quell any... And for that, I'll have to ask the two Nameless to visit the shackling prison. No, I'm not imprisoning you. While you're there, I'll ask a judge in the Ten Lords Commission's Interrogation Division to record a detailed testimony with the karmic mirror from both of you.
I'm okay with that.
Worried that I might go back on my word and keep you in the shackling prison? Relax. If I wanted to do that, you'd already be behind bars.
Then, as the...
Oh, there's one more thing. This testimony is for silencing the voices of opposition within the Alliance, but I would...
So, you are here...
Exactly. Hulei is locked up in the Luofu's shackling prison. Since he is the broodlord of the Borisin, I want to transfer him onto the Xianzhou Yaoqing and imprison him there. The recent movements of the Borisin suggest...
It makes sense to have the Foxians keep an eye on their arch-nemesis. Since you trust...
I was worried this would turn into a heated argument.
And as for Hulei, I'll send my lieutenants Zhao Chou and Moza to check on his condition in prison and ready him for transport.
As General Jing Yuan requested, everything is prepared for your arrival, and I am here to receive you. The judges at the Interrogation Division also know your purpose in coming.
The shackling prison. I didn't expect to be back here.
Don Heng.
Don't worry about me.
If you're ready, I'll open the gate for you. This is one of many entrances used for temporary access. Since you're not actual prisoners, it makes sense for you to use this at...
What are you looking at?
The shackling prison on the Luofu is completely different from the one on the Yaoqing. It's completely underwater.
Whether it's in the clouds or underwater, breaking free would still be a piece of cake for me.
Still thinking about your old jailbreak tricks, huh? Forget it. You're free now. Just don't do anything stupid, or the judges will throw you back in there and lock you up for a few hundred years.
You'll see me again in just a few days.
Taking Hulei back to the Yaoqing means a lot to the Foxians on the ship, and to the General herself. So stay alert.
Guests, my name is Shui Yi, and I'm here on orders from the Incarceration Division of the Ten Lords Commission.
We're Zhao Chou and Moza. General Fei Xiao sent us to extradite the Borisin criminal Hulei to the Yaoqing. We're here to inspect the conditions of his imprisonment and make preparations for the handover and transportation. I assume you've been briefed, Your Honor.
Your visit request has been approved. I'll be your guide for this trip. Prisoner Hulei, the warhead and broodlord of the Borisin abominations of abundance and the arch-nemesis of the Foxians, is responsible for 2,000. Due to his heinous acts, he has been imprisoned in the depths of the shackling prison and subjected to the punishment of the Forest of Swords.
No need to repeat his crimes and sentence, Your Honor. He is the greatest enemy of us Foxians.
When it comes to visiting criminals, there are rules in place to ensure your safety. I know you've heard legends about Hulei since you were children, but your knowledge about him is likely very limited. Only the judges of the Ten Lords Commission truly know what kind of abomination is locked up at the bottom of the shackling prison. It has been centuries since Jing Liu, the former sword champion of the Luofu, captured Hulei. And during all those years, we never provided him with any food. Yet he somehow managed to stay alive. It defies all the documented physical characteristics. The Forest of Swords, forged by the Punishment Division, is a device of intense torment, used to execute sinful abominations. Most Borisin die within 3 days in the forest, but Hulei is different. The complex rules are there because of his abnormal characteristics. Do you understand?
I apologize for any offense caused. Please.
I've given you the instructions regarding Hulei's visitation. Please make sure you read them carefully. And please, take this pellet before—
No, I'm not taking random medicine.
Then you won't be allowed to visit Hulei.
Just swallow it already. Hulei is like all Borisin. He can release a pheromone called lupita. Thousands of years ago, we Foxians were enslaved by the Borisin. Not because we were naturally weaker.
I understand.
I knew you were a reasonable person. Now that we've taken the medicine, let's proceed. Your Honor.
What is it?
No. Never mind.
Here we are. Her Honor hasn't arrived yet. Please wait a moment.
This place... it's still as cold as it used to be. Sorry, I was just reminiscing about some unpleasant memories. Thank you. It's all my fault that you were involved in the Xianzhou's problems. I wish I could show you the real sights of the Luofu. The 6 charioteers might have more power over the rest of this Xianzhou ship. But here, the judges will use a complicated interrogation device called the Karmic Mirror. Therefore, the judgment made here will be sufficient to convince the other administrators of the Xianzhou. Okay. But what?
Welcome, dear guests from the Express. Judge Hanya of the Interrogation. Glad to meet you again. Please allow me to express my gratitude to you again for—
Looks like while March 7th and I were clueless, you already made many friends on the Xianzhou Luofu.
Even though you and I have met before, we can't show any favoritism under the 10 Lords. So, please do as I command as we head to Scrivener Hall and beyond. This is not a place for ordinary mortals. You and Mr. Danheng, please come with me.
Please lead the way.
Please let me activate the mechanism before we all move forward.
I heard the war dance is about to be held in the mortal world. I remember watching a sword duel. The Cloud Knight, who was the Luofu's ringmaster, was an amazing swordsman, and their sword flashed like lightning. The Outworld Challenger had fire. Time sure flies. Now, both my Are there a lot of people in Starskiff Haven due to the war dance? Sounds amazing. It's a shame I'm too busy to attend. Let's...
It's freezing.
This place is filled with the cold air from the northern peak of the polar delve. Even the... Did you hear something just now? Let me check it out. Ugh, what an eyesore. This place is packed with boxes and crates.
These crates... they look oddly...
A few days ago, the Spiritfarers received reports about an IPC transport ship that was attacked by Borison. Then, a bunch of those abominations were done. I had a feeling there would be trouble during the war dance. But throwing both the pirates and the cargo in jail? That's a new one. I heard the Intelligentsia Guild crafted something dangerous. We have many records in the Hall of Karma about these wise ones. I caught a glimpse of the mechs in those crates, and they bear a striking resemblance to Borison. Well, business first. Let's... Strange. I don't remember checking the containment facilities a second time.
Watch out!
Emergency! All wardens prepare for action! Emergency! All wardens prepare for action!
But how is this even possible? The Spiritfarers follow the protocols, cutting off power to the mechs and sealing the crates. How could these mechs still start moving?
It's just like what happened in the Artisanship Commission before. These goods went haywire and attacked everyone in sight. The Alchemy Commission members examined them and found some unusual structures within. These things showing up in the Shackling prison can only mean...
A prison break.
And whoever delivered these goods clearly wanted them to go through the Xianzhou's strict inspection process to show the Skyfaring Commission and Cloud Knights how dangerous they were. They wanted these mechs to end up...
If these things already started taking action while nobody was paying attention, and to make things worse, another group of visitors just entered the depths and the prisoner they came to visit might be the target whom these wolf-shaped mechs were delivered here for. If that vicious beast manages to break free, it will be a catastrophe for the Xianzhou Luofu.
Here we are.
Have we arrived already, Your Honor? Shouldn't there be a cage here?
The most notorious felons are locked away in the solitary delves, deep down in the prison. Those delves can't be opened without proper authorization. The blue bird paves the path, and the Stygian lanterns illuminate it. Help me light up these. I've given you the diagrams for lighting the lanterns. Please take a look. Inside the delve, behind this door, is the greatest enemy of the Foxians, Hulei. According to custom, envoys from the Yao Qing visit the Xianzhou Luofu once every century to check on this abomination. Even though the Ten Lords Commission sentenced Hulei to the Forest of Swords, suffering every day for the rest of his life. I understand that the Yaoqing messengers want to see him dead. Unfortunately, for the past 7 centuries, they've had to return disappointed. Because this beast simply can't be killed.
If we can use his toxin to create medicine and save an innocent life, it might help balance out some of the sins he's committed. Could you be the key to a cure for the General, Hulei?
And once again, the envoys of the Yaoqing will leave disappointed. However, I won't say the same for me and mine.
Who's there?
I'm just a humble counselor of the Rhino Hound Pack. You can call me Moktok.
Wardens, intruders on the lowest level! Send reinforcements!
Nobody will hear you here, at the bottom of the shackling prison. Thank you for opening up the prison for us, Your Honor. We'll take it from here.
No wonder I kept smelling that familiar stench. So it wasn't just my imagination. Do your thing, Morza.
We mustn't let these abominations get any closer! Guard the gate! They can't be allowed in!
Long time, boy. Welcome back.
How many times has the old verdant home spun around since our last hunt? Duran's whelp.
Oh, great Hulei! Nemesis of the Foxians, and the hunter of all beings. I'm Moktok. It's been at least 7 centuries since you led our pack through the hunting grounds of—
7 centuries? 7 centuries have passed. But why have Duran's whelps grown to look—
I've been commanded to release you from this cursed prison. It is Senjaya's will. That's why I had to take a magic pill, don the skin of a lowly beast.
Since you have an escape plan, tell me, what's our next move?
My brothers and I will lock down this prison, trapping the prison guards inside. The rest of my crew, who are undercover like me, will secure the vessels for our escape. According to the plan, we only have a tight 2-hour window. Originally, I intended to carry out the plan tomorrow, but they're planning to transfer you to the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
What a reckless plan, you idiot! Even if we manage to get the ships...
But we have no other choice. The angel serving under the Master of Immortality sent me with a message. Only your return will end the prologue. Every one of my crew is ready to lay down their lives, if it means...
A sneaky weakling like you is actually showing some reckless bravery with this plan.
Well then, my lord. We should leave now.
Before we go, give...
My lord, do you seriously want to don the skin of a low...
You idiot. Greatness means nothing without freedom.
As you wish, my lord.
Is that Foxian's?
No, he's an envoy from the Xianzhou Yaoqing. I plead you to endure him a bit, my lord, as he's more valuable as a hostage. Take...
Madam Hanya, the wardens in all areas are regrouping. Those Ingenium enemies are wandering around and causing heavy casualties. And to make things worse, those iron wolves broke open the cages and let the criminals out.
Let's preserve our strength and first take down the isolated prisoners. By decree of the 10 lords, all prison breakers and intruders shall be apprehended, dead or alive.
Just a short time ago, the nether key mechanism was activated. It was probably Madame Shui and the Yaoqing messengers, heading to the bottom of the prison. Given the situation...
We mustn't let that vile beast escape from its cage.
We've gathered all the prison guards who can still fight, and we'll split up and...
Go!
Those intruders are quite bold. They must have been planning this for quite a while.
Indeed, but Borisin tend to favor direct and aggressive approaches. Crafting careful, let's focus on the current situation right now. Please help me.
What's the fastest way to the bottom of this prison, Miss Hanya? If we don't get there quickly, we'll soon be outnumbered by all the enemies.
We'll have to bend the rules. Please, follow me. The nether key has been activated. I hope we're not too late. Hang in there, sister.
Looks like there was a fierce battle here not long ago.
The gate to the prison delve is wide open. Hulei has managed to break free. Where are the Yaoqing messengers? And where's my sister? Are they still alive?
Let's look around. Maybe we'll find some clues.
Shui is here.
Miss Shui bravely sacrificed herself.
Condolences. Well, that's unnecessary. You misunderstand. Thanks to the 10 Lords' blessing, my sister turned into an Ingenium centuries ago. Dying and returning as just a soul to the Hall of Karma's document office has become a routine. While I'm not keen on seeing her throw away her body like it's some replaceable part, but... By the way, have you seen bodies that might be the Yaoqing messengers? One of them.
No. I haven't found any Foxian bodies.
So, the intruders and Hulei are holding the... This is the worst situation. With hostages in their grasp, the prison guards can't do anything about the prisoners. We must rescue the messengers, get out of here, and spread the news. We mustn't give up as...
What have you found, Miss Hanya?
Reconstruct.
It's my sister. Looks like her soul had such a critical moment. Her death can give us information that we can turn into an advantage.
Hanya,
Welcome back, sister. I don't know what kind of expression I should have at a time like this.
Don't let me be damaged again. I'll lose my memories. This side crane can't hold all of me.
Sister, what did you...
One of the Yaoqing messengers escaped? And
besides the Borison, there were other intruders.
Invisible intruders? What does that even mean? Do me a favor, sister. The intruders have cut off all communication between inside and outside. Make sure you deliver the news to the outside.
I understand. Please be careful, sister. You are different from me.
time is running out, Miss Hanya. If we keep delaying, those Borison will escape from the prison.
All right. If we happen to come across that Yaoqing messenger who got away... No. Stopping Hulei should probably be our top priority.
Wait! Something feels off. Something's approaching us.
The invisible intruders?
The prison management on... So what if I repeat it? It's the truth, after all. At least 2 different groups of intruders infiltrated here. The wolf cubs and these Mara-strucks, their hiding technique. It's pretty similar to the wind mantle technique used by the Vidyadhara serving Kailorum Venti on the Yaoqing. What do you think? Well, never mind if you don't have any clues. Now is not the time to exchange assassination techniques. I'm Waza. My friend fell into the clutches of that wolf. I was planning to escape and report back as quickly as possible. The prison on the Law Fu was a...
Thank you for your help, Mr. Moza. We'll do our best to ensure your friend...
No. You can do nothing for him now. And you
Your friend is in Hulei's clutches and you're just going to leave...
Look, I'm the Yaoqing General's guard, not his. I've seen how that giant wolf fights, and there's... I don't know how you think, but I won't throw my life away for a lost cause. Listen up. I've been tracking these fugitives, and I know their next move. They're planning to seal the worst-case scenario. We are all killed by that giant wolf in the shackling prison. And the best case... No, we won't be able to. The best-case scenario would be... we seal the gates and trap the enemy inside with us. Hopefully, someone will eventually notice that something is off and come to help. As for whether we'll...
You should have a way of comforting people, Mr. Moza.
As a person of the Yaoqing, I've always searched for something...
I have to make it out alive. My
As a netherworld dweller, I've already died once.
Don't worry. Even if we end up dying here, I won't let it happen to you first.
Well, you're just as good at comforting people as Mr. Moza. None of you are part of the Ten Lords' commission, so sacrificing yourselves isn't the right move. As a judge, it's once we reach the gate. I hope you'll help me seal it. After that, I'll do everything I can to fight the Borison. Now, let's proceed upward.
I will hold them back. Don't let Hulei...
This brings back such familiar memories. Memories of chasing Nog.
My lord, we're just one step away from freedom. As we pass...
So this hostage is useless.
He's getting away. Do something, Jiao. It's just like the old days, you useless loser. Just do something!
Maybe this Yaoqing messenger can strike a deal in exchange for his life. He can use his status to help us escape from the Xianzhou.
Just look at you, fallen so low during my absence.
I've got to make this beast stay here, whether it's for the sake of face show. Deal. I certainly have more value alive. My identity, my knowledge of the Xianzhou, and my understanding of many things that...
Lowly beast. Muster up that...
I'm afraid you're unaware. The woman who defeated you, Jing Liu, she has recently returned to the... Your opportunity for revenge is right in front of you.
My lord, this slave is talking nonsense. I've never heard anything about this!
Silence, mock talk! And you, slave. From now on, you'll stay by But we must stay here for some time, mock talk. Fear not. Because once I step out now, Duran's wills. Follow me!
Report! After we lost contact with the shackling prison, we received a message from a cycrane. The prisoners have...
What about the Yaoqing messengers?
No news at the moment. We're trying to restore contact with the
I see. You're dismissed. General Jing Yuan, General Hua Yan. It's just as we suspected. The rise of the Ambrosial Arbor was not the end. The hand of the Ruined Legion has already sown the seeds of destruction. From this moment on, the Xianzhou Alliance will face an even greater challenge. From both the abominations of... If this is what they want, I'm always up for a challenge. As the Marshal Special Envoy, I'll dispatch the Lawfu Cloud Knights to pursue...
Looks like the hidden dregs have finally come to the surface. And as I said before, it's time to wash them away, once